3, 2. And we are back. Episode 17.
17.
Bottom
like
Dweller
Android
Banter.
17.
Like Android 17. Welcome back, everybody. We got a good one for you today. Nice variety. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Yeah, this started. We got another thunderstorm warning where we are. Did you get one?
Oh yeah. In fact, it's raining right now.
It's like it rained and now like Zeus has brought who's the god of the sun, Apollo. I don't know, dude. Point is, the sun just came back out. It rained 2 minutes.
Not up to date on my Greek mythology.
The Greek lore. Yeah. I don't know, but like it's just it's ridiculous. I don't. If it's gonna rain, just rain a lot. Like I like it. So I'm in the minority though. So.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm all right. You can see You know when you grow out your hair, it's a fight because you're like, do I part the hair back and put the headphones on top, or do I like let the hair come down over my ears and just put this on top? So today I'm trying the latter. So, and I'm drinking my tasteless carbonated water. Hold on, let me.
I like that. I like bubbly.
It's so tasteless, but you know what? If you can't drink pop or anything, it'll have to do.
To be honest, I prefer that. Pop is too sweet for me.
Yeah, it is too sweet. It's just something to fill my stomach, and when you're doing intermittent fasting, it's the next best bet that you have.
I should let you know that a friend came over on the weekend who brought his own Switch, even though I have a Switch, but he has all the Smash DLC. Mm-hmm. And I got to play Kazuya for the first time. And I gotta say, he's kind of technical. Like, he's not I wouldn't say he's a pick up and play type of character. If you want to do good with him, anyway. I did try electrics. You can do it with the input, so that's nice. Yeah.
Oh, so then
the
he
electric
really
does
does
a
match.
decent amount of damage too, and I think it stuns too a little bit.
Oh shit!
And it's cool. He has that 10-hit combo too. Obviously, it's not as hard to execute. You just keep pressing A. But
really,
the animation is all there with the kicks and the spinning, and he goes up. It's got all the signature moves, I should say. It is pretty good.
So
I said it like that.
Pretty good. Pretty good. No, but we did say that he looked faithful. It sounds like he's faithful.
It's a more faithful adaptation than Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Let's just say that.
They didn't cheat on Kazuya.
That game was a.
That game is in a good place now. It wasn't in a good place at first.
Yeah.
It was busted, straight up busted. So that's good to hear.
That is.
What did I want to ask you? No, I think that's it. I think you covered it. He does the electric. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's fucking jump into. So I should add.
Gunn. Sorry.
I managed to quickly add before James Gunn. I managed to quickly watch Loki, the last 2 episodes, and Black Widow. I shouldn't have. I watched Loki 2 days ago, Black Widow yesterday. I just did it because I was like, I don't want to get spoiled. Let me just watch it.
Yeah. What do you think?
I liked Loki way more than Black Widow. Ooh. I did not like Black Widow that much.
Can I guess what was wrong with it?
Well, if you can guess it, I don't know, how do we not spoil it? Because I don't want to spoil it for people.
No, I'll be vague.
Okay, be vague. Yeah, go.
Generic action movie.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
That's the impression I got from the trailer, so I was assuming that's it. What was your main problem with it? I'm just speculating, guys. I haven't seen the movie. But
so without spoiling, I thought like initial pacing was weird.
Okay.
And there's certain moments where you're gonna look at it and go, okay.
How much does it tie with the other movies?
It does. It ties, but some editing was weird too, and you'll see what I mean. Not a lot of editing was off, but you'll see what I mean.
It seems like a pretty standalone affair, but you're saying it does tie.
The characters are the most charming part. That's the most charming.
Yeah.
Their personalities are like, I love the cast of characters they have.
Yeah.
But There's always ups and downs in that regard, so I won't go into it too much. But Loki was smackdown good, dude.
Still gotta watch
Great.
that.
Please, like, and it's a show that I think everybody's gonna need to watch. I'll leave it at that. Like, you're gonna need to watch it.
I see.
So it's important. I'll leave it at that.
What that implies. Yeah.
Yeah, important show.
Anyways, why don't you talk about James? The boys are back in town. Gunn.
Oh
Here.
my God,
Throwback
that
there.
was that a 2008 tweet?
I
Jesus.
don't know.
Anyway, so in line with like me talking about like the Marvel stuff, like this is something I've always discussed with friends and you. I've always wondered like what the differences are like studio wise when you work for like a Marvel Studios versus DC. So apparently with Marvel, what James Gunn was saying in this article, he's like, oh yeah, with Feige, he's way more involved with editing than Warner Brothers is. He gives you more notes, but then Gunn is like, oh, you don't got to take the notes. And like, I really wonder, like, when Gunn says, oh, you don't need to take the notes, I truly wonder if he's an exception to that rule.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And
Because some producers might let a director go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And this
Yeah,
confirms our theories too somewhat
a little bit.
on the Marvel like one man show theory,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I just seriously wonder if James is just an exception because he was there in like 2014 and maybe Kevin just trusted him more as a filmmaker and let him go. But anyway, apparently Gunn is like, oh yeah, these days because there's so many damn. He didn't say this, but my interpretation is there's so many damn MCU shows and movies coming out that like Kevin Feige's pretty spread
Yeah.
out or not thin. He doesn't say thin.
So you can't micromanage as much.
He can't, yeah. And well, I don't even know if he micromanages to begin with, but we just theorize he does. It's our theory.
Yeah, it's our theory.
Or not just him, but all the producers. Like
Yeah.
they all do this.
I mean, they're
But
all under this instruction of one big cheese, right? That's our assumption.
yeah, and they're all tight. Like if you see interviews, like I think Victoria Alonso's another producer, and they seem tight, like as people. Like
Yeah.
they're all. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not
Yeah.
producers that aren't friends in any way. I just get the feeling that. Anyway, you get my point. But when he talks about DC, he's like, "Oh yeah, DC has a less uniform approach to like making their films, and he thinks like that's how DC can distinguish
For
itself
better
from
or
Marvel,
for worse.
for better or for worse." Yeah, and I think he even acknowledges it
Yeah.
when he he says like, "Oh, I think like the current batch of people at Warner Brothers are really interested in building out a world and creating something like that's unique to the filmmakers that come in," and he was saying like. He even mentions the word hit or miss, and it makes literally what we're saying, right? For better or for worse, hit or miss.
That's
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, other than that, Gunn, I just want to add this because this is going to spark something. Gunn is like, oh yeah, most superhero films are boring to me right now.
Interesting.
I can't say I blame him.
Interesting
I don't blame him.
take. Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
blame him.
obviously, I agree somewhat. It's just weird to see that coming out of a guy. Well, fatigue must be real, right? Especially with people working on these movies.
Yeah.
This guy already
Yeah.
worked on 2 superhero movies. Yeah.
3 now, Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
coming out next month.
Yeah.
Which we're not going to get to watch here because our cinemas are still not properly open, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where Canada takes the shaft, but whatever. What are you going to do? Well, let's move on. This topic, I just wanted to, this is a cool fun fact. I know a lot of people, I know many people that have watched The Office. I haven't. I've seen clips. But apparently NBC was telling James Gandolfini when he was alive that they did not want him to replace Steve Carell. Like, NBC offered Gandolfini, they're like, here's $4 million, replace, Steve Carell, who left, like, in a later season.
Oh.
But once he was about to do it, HBO came in, they're like, "Ah-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta," and they gave him $3 million, and they said, don't take the deal. They gave him $3 million to not take the deal. And this was on the Sopranos podcast, which Ricky Gervais was on. This was the episode with him.
Yeah.
And so it's insane. Like HBO paid him basically $3 million to not take something and like keep a legacy of the legacy of the Sopranos kind of pure.
How nice would it be to get 3 million for it to do nothing?
It's insane. But you hear that James Gandolfini was like a very giving man to his cast, like on The Sopranos. Like he was a
Yeah.
sweet dude, but he had his problems, is what I've gathered. Like those people that are incredibly great humans, but underneath that they're dealing with
yeah.
some stuff.
Yeah.
He was one of those. It's what I gather. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
Like you never know until you're in someone's body, but Yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. That's like trivia. You could bring that at a trivia show or
Yep.
something. Like, anyway, very interesting stuff. Now, I'll throw it to you because we don't talk about the PC side of stuff enough.
All right. So, apologies because I just read this article a few minutes before recording. MSI has revealed three brand new AMD gaming laptops. These are featuring all AMD, at least processor and graphics card components. And it seems like it's pretty reasonable for the price, which is impressive considering all the electronics and chips shortages that we've been having lately. Um, has three tiers, you could say. There's the Alpha 15, which has a Ryzen 7 1080p HD screen and a 144 hertz refresh rate, which is not that common for a laptop. Um, Also has SSD slots, which is nice if you want to upgrade the storage space down the line. Um, I still like the fact that some laptops have those maintenance bays at the bottom. It's becoming a lost art with the thin and lights. Everything is soldered on the board, like especially RAM and storage, which historically has been upgradable on laptops, but they've as they've shrunk more and more, they've become less and less customizable, which makes sense. But it is nice to see still upgrade options. Um, Next tier is Bravo, so Alpha and then Bravo, which is uh, Ryzen 5 and Radeon RX 5500, which is, I think it's a decent GPU.
Yeah, it's decent. Yeah.
Yeah, this goes for 899 US, I'm assuming.
It
So
supports
not
up to 64 gigs of RAM. That's
Yeah,
dope.
so
Okay.
not a bad deal if you. This is what I would call a mid-range gaming laptop with the Ryzen 5 and a RX 5500. This should handle most games at the rated resolution of 1080p, so not a bad option at all. And then we have the Delta 5, which is Ryzen. Oh, this is slightly more powerful than Bravo. I'm not sure, to be honest, where the tiers are going. Is Delta the highest, or is it the lowest? Because it doesn't have a Ryzen 7. It still has a Ryzen 5, but has a slightly beefier GPU with the 6700M, 64 gigs of RAM. It's the smallest one. Screen is full HD and it has a 240 hertz refresh rate, which is damn impressive for a laptop.
What the heck?
So I'm
Okay.
assuming this is the higher tier model, even though one of the other tiers has a Ryzen 7, which is a slightly beefier CPU. Yeah.
Mm.
Any thoughts?
Well, one thing that I really like, it's very nice to see is that they're using they have NVMe slots for like the
Yes.
SSD. Like
Yes.
that is huge to
That's
me.
a
Like I
huge
think
upgrade over SATA, yeah, for
big
sure.
time. I
Yeah.
think NVMe is like, guys, if you can
It's the
afford
way
it,
to go.
please,
Yeah.
you gotta go that way.
There's
In fact, I'm rocking one right now, and
yeah,
it's great. It's great.
I can confirm that. Especially if you can load your OS off of that drive, you'll be running
Oh,
smooth.
oh my God,
In
it's
fact, I'd argue with the prices these days, there's not much point in hard drives anymore, traditional hard drives. Uh,
yes,
Unless you're
yes,
going for backup storage or
yeah.
maybe something for a console, but for PCs, just go SSD, you know?
Yeah, I'm faced with a conundrum now. It's like, do I just, because I know I'm gonna run out of space on my WD Blue,
Yeah, just
and
get
I kind of
another
wish I got a
SSD.
WD Black. Like, I really wish I just got a black, but maybe just invest in
Just
another
get an
NVMe.
SSD. Yeah,
Yeah, just more game space, right?
yeah,
What's
totally.
the? Because right now I'm still managing the space. Like I'm still deleting games that I'm playing. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's my only. It's like I wish I didn't have to do that, but what are you gonna do?
So after a closer look, it looks like they're not really three tiers in the sense of higher, medium, low, medium, high, but it's like different flavors because one of them seems to come with a 4K 60 hertz screen. So it's really your preference. Do you prefer 4K at 60 or do you prefer 1080p at 144, right? Obviously the more gaming orientated crowd will prefer the high refresh rate, but maybe
Like
the more
us, I guess.
yeah, but maybe the more creative people will prefer the 4K output. Yeah,
True.
yeah,
True.
they look pretty good. I don't like overly branded gaming branded laptops. They look
Oh,
kind
me
of
too.
tacky, especially in a professional environment, But these look reasonably okay.
Hey, I mean, speaking of MSI, because these are MSI laptops, I'm
Yeah.
rocking an MSI monitor. It's great.
MSI
It
is
hasn't done
solid.
me wrong.
Yeah, totally.
And fun thing for those who like are looking at these laptops, and I'll talk to you about MSI's warranty and uh, replacement plan. They offer a better plan. Like if you do comparisons with them, Dell, whatever, I've noticed that for at least as far as monitors, I can't speak to laptops, like gaming laptops, but MSI has the best policies, like for how many dead pixels that they'll replace it or fix it for. It's great. Like
That's good to
I
know.
was impressed. Yeah, very impressed.
For
Because I did that research before I got this monitor. I was like, this is pretty good. So
for
I went with
laptops,
it.
I've been impressed with the Asus because I believe for most of their products, they offer 1 year coverage, even if you're at fault. Like if you drop the laptop or you spill water on it, they'll still
Mm.
cover that, which
Or
is which
if
is
your
quite
like
impressive.
dog
Yeah.
knocks over a bottle of wine.
There you go. Yeah.
Be careful with saying Asus, by the way. People in the comments will throw pitchforks at you,
Uh,
saying it's Asus, it's Asus.
yeah. You know.
Bard be like, I don't give a shit.
But yeah, what do you, in general, what do you think of gaming laptops versus gaming computers?
My older brother's a more technologically inclined person than I am, and from what I've gathered from him and talking to different people, I, I mean, you can always make it work for someone, but the preference is not to go with the laptop, go with the desktop every time. That's at least how I've approached it. Like when I was younger, I was always interested in those Alienware laptops.
Yeah,
I was like, ooh, look at
yeah,
these things. Huge prices too. I was like expensive, but you just wanted one. I wanted one. But my brother's like, you don't want one.
yeah.
Trust me. And I'm
I
like, I take your word for it. And
I
he
am
hasn't proved me
inclined
wrong.
to agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's nice that obviously for some people either who travel a lot because of their work or maybe for students, gaming laptop could be the way to go. But I prefer spending the bulk of my technological sort of budget for the computer, which is always upgradable,
yeah.
and go decent on a laptop. You don't want to cheap out on a laptop and have to replace it every 2 years. You want something that'll last your, uh, let's say, lasts your education or lasts more than a few years at least. But I'd say two spending money on a $2,000 laptop, which you're not gonna be able to upgrade, which is gonna it's gonna be pretty useless in a few years.
That's my
It's
qualm with
not a
it.
good investment.
I don't like that part.
Whether it's the battery or it's the fact that
Oh,
oh yeah, batteries are horrible. They're only good for 1 year and then
the batteries where I want to throw a knife.
yeah
Like that shit. Oh my God.
and then
Oh.
whether it's the performance that's not going to be up to par. That I find that to be not as much of a case anymore as we're, how do you say, topping out on the performance side of things. We're not seeing the huge jumps that we were seeing, I'd say a decade ago with every new computer part. It was twice as fast as the previous one.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
not the case anymore. Thankfully, we're getting to the. There was a law, right? Something law that
Moore's Law. I was going to
Moore's
bring it
law.
up. Isn't that
Yeah,
Moore's
yeah,
Law?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I guess it's attenuating now, meaning like it's not as
Yeah.
significant of improvements in
It's
processing
topping out.
power,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
Which is
noticed it too,
fine.
man.
It's better for sustainability. It means we're not throwing out electronics every 2 years.
Yes,
I
yeah,
want
that's a
stuff
big
that
thing.
lasts. It's good for everyone.
Well, I mean, just to like drive it home for like listeners, like if you build a solid computer rig,
Yeah.
you're looking at potentially having that thing for 6 years.
Yeah.
If you
Easy.
do it right
Yep.
and you take care of it,
Yep.
and you're not going on any shifty sites to look at titties or whatever you're gonna do, you can last with that thing. That desktop will last you a long time. It did
And
me. I had a 6-year desktop, one build, one
yep.
build.
And
So
as I've done often, instead of if you find that one part of your computer is lacking, like let's say your graphics card, which is often the case,
yeah,
you can sell your old one to finance buying a new one. I've done that.
yeah, and it may not pay off the whole thing, but it helps.
But it definitely helps, and it's way better than buying an entire new laptop.
Yeah.
You know.
I
So
mean, I say that's like, in my opinion, the moral is, and Bard, you tell me what you think. If you have fuck you money, do it.
if you have fuck you money, you get both. Get a gaming
You
laptop
get
and a
both.
gaming
Yeah.
desktop. Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, you do both. Sorry.
best of both worlds. But
Yeah,
yeah.
best of both worlds.
But that being said, I think one of these should be at least less than 1,000, which is pretty pretty decent. That's hard to argue for a laptop. If this fits your build, and you see it on at your store, and you're in the market, obviously I wouldn't hesitate for one of these. These look solid.
They
I'd
do.
say, yeah. Not sponsored.
We're not.
We're not.
Us for now, yeah, we're
All
not.
right. That's enough shop talk. Let's talk shop. I don't
Ooh, I
know.
love
I don't know what I just said.
No, it's beautiful. We're gonna talk shop. Yeah, talking
Yeah.
shop.
All right, let's talk about Disney Plus and what's new, what's good in August 2021. Again, apologies, I haven't combed through this article, but I will go through the list and whatever comes to my mind, I'll bring up, and maybe you can do the same.
Yeah.
So, coming to August, America's Funniest Home Videos Animal Edition Season 1.
You know how much we used to watch AFV back in the day? My God.
Who was the more notorious presenter for if we? It was
I'm only familiar with the one white dude. Excuse me for not remembering his name.
wasn't there a dude
I
from
only
the
know one
A
dude.
team at one point?
A-Team?
Was
I
it
don't know.
was it Mr. T or is that that was another show. It was
No.
called Mr. T's Home Funny Videos or something. I remember
Maybe,
watching that.
maybe. But the AFV I've seen was only one white dude from what I watched.
Gotcha.
We used to watch it a lot, man. And I liked it. It was nice. You know, everybody would
I-
always giggle at the stuff.
I guess I'm not sure whether this will come to Disney Plus Canada because it seems like just from the branding alone, America's video, you know.
Yeah. Well, it used to air here on the network, but that was probably an American network, right? So.
All right,
used to get the channel.
next notable thing, at least for me, Marvel Studios Legends serves as an exciting refresher for the various heroes and villains making their way to the highly anticipated streaming show, setting the stage for upcoming adventures. It'll feature Peggy Carter, Avengers Initiative, and the Ravagers.
I didn't hear about this. What the heck?
Well, there you go. Coming
You
August
think I
4th.
would?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Moving on, because unless you have something
There's
to
a
say
lot.
about Marvel Studios
No.
Legends, okay.
That speaks for itself, I think.
Star Wars: The Bad Batch.
What?
Bad Batch is experimental clones first introduced in Clone Wars, as they find their way into a rapidly changing galaxy. Okay, for
Huh.
Star Wars fans, I know Clone Wars is a very beloved entry in the Star
is.
Wars canon, so maybe this does something for someone.
The writers really loved, like the Clone Wars writers, they really cared about their continuity.
Yeah.
As I gathered. Like they did a good job with the prequels, 1, 2, 3, which aren't critically well received. They did a good job filling in the gaps
Cool.
between those movies.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
impressive stuff. Yeah.
Moving on to next week, we got What If, episode 101 premiere. Flips the script on the MCU, reimagining famous events from the films in unexpected ways. First animated series focuses on different heroes from the MCU. Wow, this could be interesting, especially...
Yeah.
This seems like fan service for people who've already seen the bulk of the MCU movies. But
What If is one of the coolest things. When I was a kid and I read Marvel comics, and I still am, the thing is, you were always interested in what if scenarios. Like I remember discussing with friends, like, what if this happened? What if that happened? And I remember, like, prominent ones I remember reading as a kid were, what if Punisher killed the Marvel Universe? I think there was even, like, I could be wrong here, but there was like a comic, like I don't know if it's the name of the comic. so
Archie
don't-
versus Punisher.
Archie versus Punisher. That wasn't a what if, but that was. I think that actually, it's not continuity, but it happened. Go look it up, guys. What else was there? Like, what if Punisher got the Venom symbiote? Like, there's all these different what if stories, and they're always pretty interesting. I think the newest what if that is out already is what if Peter Parker never got rid of the Venom symbiote? So that's interesting. I was
Oh,
told about this by a friend, written by Chip Zdarsky. So I
that
think
is
that should be. He's
interesting.
such a good Spider-Man writer. You should look it up if you guys
Yeah.
like want to know. But yeah, anyway, what if is a cool idea, and I heard like we're getting like one of the episodes for what if is what if like Black Panther. So what if he didn't become Black Panther, but instead became Star-Lord? And it's very interesting stuff.
That
Just
does
like what if
sound
Peggy Carter
interesting.
was Captain America? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Cool.
yeah,
It's kind of like visual novels with the alternate endings.
they look cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you guys haven't seen the animation, it looks very good.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's see if something catches my eye. I see a lot of Chip and Dale.
Oh
I don't
God,
know.
yeah.
I don't know about that one. I don't like. This could be a different topic, but let old cartoons like finish. I often see them butcher old cartoons too much, especially when
Yeah.
they change up the art style a lot. But whatever.
You mean when they like do a remake or whatever?
Yeah, or they can try to continue old cartoons. Like,
True.
I don't know.
True.
Cruella with the what's her name? Emma, was it Emma?
Cruella?
I gotta
I
look
don't
this
know.
up now.
I don't think Emma's in it.
Yeah,
Is it?
Emma Stoned. Yeah.
Oh, she is in it.
Yeah.
Oh, what the
That's
heck?
coming August 7th, so I guess it's leaving theaters and coming to Disney Plus.
Interesting.
Or is it debuting on Disney Plus? No,
I
it's already in I think it's already in theaters and now it's coming to the streaming platform.
Wow. So Emma Stone played Cruella. Huh?
Yeah, there
Interesting.
you go. I think
Hmm.
there's a lot of other stuff. This is what catches my eye. Oh, making of Mandalorian if you're interested in that season 2.
Oh, I gotta watch season 1 to begin with. So
Well, this is making up. This is
yeah,
yeah,
I
so
gotta. I like that stuff though. I love behind the scenes. Love
yeah,
it. Love it. Love it.
same, same.
Yeah, I
That's
love
it
that
for
stuff.
that.
All right, here now. I think it's gonna become a mainstay on the podcast. Here
Yeah,
comes the odd news, the weird
there we
shit.
go.
I love it. This is my favorite part. I don't know why, but um, this animal control officer untangled an owl and a turtle that were stuck together in Virginia. How? Dude,
Oh
okay,
my
so let me
God.
read this. They found that the owl had its claw clamped between the turtle's top and bottom shell, and they brought them back to the shelter and they dislodged the claw to gently separate the two. Gently, I don't know.
Derp.
They did it. The owl was hurt a bit, but that turtle was tip top and not hurt at all. He was totally fine, that turtle. And honestly, dude, before I finish here with this, like, this is something that is like I even thought about it. This is out of like a buddy cop movie. This owl, if you look in the video,
Yeah,
we'll link
he
it.
doesn't look
The
happy.
owl is clearly not impressed,
Yeah.
and this turtle is in his shell or her shell, shitting him or herself. And I can just picture if this was like a buddy cop flick, that the turtle is that pussy that at the last minute can't go through
Yeah.
with the plan, and the
Yeah.
owl's like, "Get your shit together. You're the cold-blooded one. I'm the warm-blooded one. What the fuck?
Oh
You're the cold-blooded
man.
one, bro. Get it together." No, I'm not the cold-blooded one, you fucking reptile. That's the kind of movie you could make.
Oh
And
my
this is my
God.
stupid mind, by the way, people. Like, I think of this shit. Buddy cop movie with two animals. Like, what is wrong with me? But tell me what tell me what you think
I,
about
I
this.
I agree. The owl looks like it's got better places to be.
It's not happy.
Yeah.
It's like got that look in its eyes, like it's not giving up, but it's just
Yeah.
looking straight ahead. Like,
Yeah.
please, just hurry up,
Yeah.
untangle me from this fucking
Oh
reptile.
boy. Oh,
I
what's
almost called it
next?
an amphibian.
An
That was
amphibian,
close.
yes.
Yeah.
What do you got
Do you want me
next?
to go to the next thing? Okay,
Sure thing.
so McCormick is going to pay a taco lover for 4 months of work and $100,000 compensation for 4 months of work.
What?
Now, here we go, guys. So McCormick, you know, is a spice company. Some of you may or may not know. A taco lover is going to get paid that much, and they're going to innovate new seasonings and mixes and dig deep into everything that is taco. This was on the website. and they're like, "Do you eat tacos like it's your true calling?" And McCormick is like saying that in their job description.
That's
And they're like,
awesome.
now it really can be. McCormick is on the lookout for its first ever director of taco relations, and we're calling all taco fanatics to submit. And the payment is 25K per month, and you have to be. Listen to this. Listen to this, people. It requires availability to work up to 20 hours per week remotely.
I have this
Nani?
job.
Nani? Nanai? Nani?
man.
From September to December. And interested applicants can submit a creative video no longer than 2 minutes showcasing their personality and passion for tacos and why they're the best fit for the job. And guys, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Here's my pitch that I'm not even going to apply for, but here's my pitch. I will put 2 tortillas on my nipples, and I'll eat 4 Baja fish tacos quickly in rapid succession while on the toilet seat. And I say, you know, like, my name's Jeff. I love taco. You say the same way. With my name's Jeff. I love taco. And that'll be my pitch, 15 seconds. And I'll even wear this wig that I wear on my stream. Shameless plug. I'll wear this hair like I'm powering up from eating tacos. This wig that I wear on my stream, twitch.tv/radicus_.
I think that sounds.
Hey, what's your pitch?
That sounds like a winner to me, man.
That sounds like a loser to me. What's your pitch? Do you have a pitch? Come on, I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't have a pitch.
No pitch? That's okay.
I would just record a 2-minute video eating a bunch of tacos as fast as humanly possible. No
vomiting off
audio.
screen.
No audio. No.
No audio?
I'll cut it before. No, not audio. I mean, no talking. No context.
Okay. I respect.
2-minute timer. I start the video. Show a 2-minute timer.
Yeah.
Eat like fucking Goku for 2 minutes.
Yeah, well,
And,
you need this wig, man. You gotta wear it.
try to keep it together for 2 minutes before I cut the video and
Oh my god.
destroy the floor.
Oh my god, dude, your toilet is gonna be screaming swear words. If toilets could talk, your toilet that night would be like, "Fuck you! What's wrong with you?" That would be your toilet.
I'm not good with these what do you say, video type interviews, so this is
Oh, you're not a
my
fan of them?
interview. No, I'm not a fan.
Sorry, I'm just pouring the rest of this pop.
no
This
worries.
bubbly.
What do you
next
got
thing.
next?
Oh, this is great. Did I mention Atlanta last week? Anyway,
Yes.
I got it half right. Do you remember I made a prediction? A Georgia woman found 18 snakes.
Oh my
Georgia,
God.
Atlanta, Georgia. 18 snakes under her bed, living there. So this chick, she's in her bedroom, and before she went to bed, she's like, "Ooh, what's this piece of fuzz on the floor?" And she goes to reach for the fucking
God.
thing, and it moves. Boom, baby. Baby.
He's got
16 baby snakes with their
Danger
moms.
noodles.
16. Danger noodles. 16 with the mom. So like 17 or 18 danger noodles.
My goodness.
And her husband takes a grabber tool, like
Yeah.
when they
with
said this in the
with
article.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all I can think of when I hear grabber tool is like the dinosaur mouth that you can if you go to like a science center and they sell like the dinosaur mouth that's like a grabber tool, like it clamps.
Yeah,
if you press
yeah,
the handle. That's all I could imagine. This guy was taking a dinosaur mouth and picking up
Oh my
the snakes
God.
and putting them in a bag. And he did. The husband put them all in a bag, and then he released them at this dirty old little creek. This little creek nearby. He released them there.
How do you get
and they turned out to be, they're non-venomous. They turned out to be
thank
non-venomous. So,
Jeez.
they're garter snakes. So, yeah. Anyway, they found danger noodles. Do you have any thoughts about that danger noodle?
That is terrifying.
I kind of won our prediction. We didn't bet.
Did
but
it-
do you remember I said turtle? I think I said turtle in Atlanta.
We bet last week that where would you see a animal in a weird place? And
Yeah.
you said turtle on the bed?
I said turtle in the shower in Atlanta. So
That
these
is
news articles were
Eerily
like
close to this.
close,
Yeah.
close. But I got Atlanta, and it's a reptile, right? A snake is a
Yeah.
reptile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I had to double check. Snake's a reptile. So I kind of got there. What was yours again? Yours was like
Mine was
alpaca in like
in Europe.
Alabama.
No, it was in Denmark or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
you know what? That can still happen though. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm still holding
very
out for
possible.
that. Yeah.
it'll happen.
Okay.
Universe, make it happen. Do you hear
This
me?
is
Make it happen.
goddamn terrifying.
Yeah, imagine that. All right, last one, last
Shout
piece
out to
up.
the husband. What a Chad.
Dude, do you notice this trend where it's like the chick bumps into the animal and the husband has to take it out?
I mean,
Like, it's not the dude bumping into it first, it's always the wife. What's going on here? This is
well,
2 weeks now of this trend. How odd.
who knows?
Anyway, New Jersey house cleaner, this guy, he breaks into the wrong home, breaks in, and he cleans it up. You can't write this shit, okay? This dude, he was cleaning for a friend named Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. He arrives there, and he finds this key under the doormat, as he expected, because Mark told him, he's like, the key's under the... Oh my god.
People, you
I
gotta
almost said
stop
the keys...
doing that. That's too...
I almost said the keys under the door.
The keys under the door, yeah.
The key's under the mat. And he arrives there, he finds it there, he cleans this place in 2.5 hours. Mark calls him, he's like, where the fuck are you? He's like, dude, I'm in your living room right now, I'm playing with your cats and waiting for you to walk in. And Mark's like, dude, I don't have cats. And then it turns out, great English, it turns out he's off by one house digit.
Oh.
So he did like, instead of like 21, he went to like 20. And so, by the way, let me just quickly say, the fact that he was able to play with someone's cats, like just a random person's cats, it's pretty telling. He must not have come off as threatening at all.
No.
Like those cats, to be able to just chill with them, that's impressive, I have to say.
I look at my cat right now who's half dead on the floor.
I wish we could have a picture, I wish we could have an appearance by her. But anyway, he's now dubbed as the cleaning fairy, apparently. And he's making a lot of headway on TikTok, apparently, so I say good for him, man. Very good for him. And that's what are the odds? But anyway,
Guys,
he seems like a nice guy if you watch the video.
I'll give you a free PSA. Don't leave keys under the mat. It's
Not worth it.
I think
Yeah.
everybody knows that at this point.
I agree. It's not worth it.
Find some other place. I'm sure a pot or something.
Yeah, there should be better things.
Don't be
than
so
that.
predictable, you know?
Yeah, don't be predictable.
The fact that someone was able to break into this house without planning to, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty telling.
Yeah.
The other thing is, as we start to wind down, I gotta ask you: did you ever have like any experiences with snakes, like where you live, like anywhere you live, not just where you are now?
I would say I saw a fair bit of reptiles back home. In the bathroom. They were pretty common to the point that we wouldn't do anything. They would come in and out of holes and cracks in the wall. I know this sounds like we were living in a ghetto or something, but no, this was quite normal, even if you had a nice house. Like,
Did you see a lizard?
yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm
but also,
not sure which specific lizard it was. Just the standard standard edition lizard.
Standard edition SD, not HD lizard. It's SD lizard.
An HD lizard.
Yeah, no, not an HD lizard. It was an SD lizard.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm just scratching my leg. But it could have been like one of those classic like monitor lizards, like the one in last week's article.
It was not that big. No.
Not that big.
It
Okay,
was
so
a
it's not a
small
monitor.
lizard.
Got it.
Oh god, no! If I saw one of those, I would have a heart attack. Lizard.
Yeah, but like for me, like an experience with a snake where I live, the most I had was I remember I got sushi with friends in like June 2012.
Yeah.
And so we're just walking home. We just said fuck it, like don't take the bus, let's just walk home.
Yeah.
So we're walking home and this giant black snake just slithers past our feet, like right on the sidewalk. And it goes onto the road. There's no cars on the road at the time. This was like in the evening. And it just slithered right past us like it was nothing. I don't even know if it noticed us, or I don't know what the hell was going on. So it slithers past us. We all like, and you know how we're not trying to take up the whole sidewalk, so it's like two in front, one in the back. So I'm behind because I walk like a turtle anyway. And all of a sudden, one of my friends just jumps behind me. Like he did like an anime like jump backwards. He's like, "Wow!" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Look at that thing." I'm like, "Whoa!" And this thing was at least 2-foot snake, at least.
Oh my god.
2.5 feet, yeah. Huge snake. And I'm like, this must be a garter snake, probably just another non-venomous one, I'm assuming. But it was like jet black. I was like, what the hell? What is this thing?
That is scary.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if it's a garter snake. I've never seen them that color, but
I'm
Yeah.
I'm always afraid, especially if I'm walking at night and I see a shortcut, but it's through tall grass, like Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but if I can't see the floor bed, I want to say, like I don't know what's going on in that grass, and there could be a whole ecology chilling in there,
There could
waiting for
be.
me. I'm always afraid of. I guess I have a phobia of walking in ankle deep or higher foliage and
Mm.
something touching me, something other than grass. Isn't that a
Yeah, that's
scary thought?
fair. There was a wrestler. He was peeing in the grass on a road trip, and he got completely bit by a venomous spider.
See,
And
exactly. That's
the,
exactly my
yeah,
point.
the effects were slowly like killing him, and he didn't know.
Oh my
It's
God.
crazy.
There
Yeah, and
is.
he was taking a piss on the side of the road, guys. Like, be careful, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he would have died if the doctor didn't know. His
Oh
name was
my
Scott Hall.
God.
You can find this on YouTube. He talks about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I was taking a piss and this venomous spider bit me, and I noticed like basically from the site of the bite, it like spread out from his body, like
Oh
markings on his
Jesus.
body." And his doctor's like, "Dude, that's a bite." He's like, "Where have you been?" Because wrestlers travel. He's like, "Oh, whatever, Milwaukee." He's like, wherever it was, and he's like, "Oh, that's a bite of a snake that only lives there,
Oh
or
my
sorry,
God.
spider that only lives there." So that doctor saved him by noticing. Anyways, crazy shit.
There is a lot of
But
shit
my
out
point
there,
is, I get your point. I get it. I
especially in
really do.
Australia where everything tries to
Oh,
kill you.
Australia just seems like I don't know.
If I was in
I'd have
Australia,
to break
I wouldn't even
my
go outside if I was in
I have to
Australia.
break my no kill rule. Like I have to break my superhero rule. Like I try not to kill anything in this house,
Same.
but I'd have to break it. Like I'm gonna be like, yo,
I have
this is a
to.
Black Widow spider. It's going down.
Oh yeah.
It's going down like I don't know,
Chinatown.
going down downtown.
Yeah.
Anyway, is that it, man? Before we wrap it up.
That's it for us.
All right, playa. I gotta plug the usual. Subscribe to the YouTube at Bottom Dweller Banter BDB. Follow us on Spotify, Bottom Dweller Banter. Follow us on Twitter at BD Banter Podcast. Give us a good old follow on the Instagrams at Bottom Dweller Banter. And with that, the two of us, we are off to swim in the sea of life with you lovely people. We'll catch you next week. Peace and love.